Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26, featuring the Chicago White Sox. Our previous episode, we had ourselves an off season that was mostly uneventful. If you looked at this team, most of these players look very, very familiar to you. Probably one of our best deals is getting Kyle Teal to come back for $13 million a year. Which is a slight decrease from the previous season, but it keeps him in a White Sox uniform for at least a couple more seasons, which is great. I don't remember which video this was a comment on, but I do want to address it because it's a very good point. All this is fine. Somebody said to... Yes, lovely. Okay. Yes, Brian Garris 7094, a proud subscriber, said, could we put WAR at the end for hitters? You know what, my friend? I hear you. I agree with you. Let's do it. Edit stat row, and we're going to move that to the end. So thank you for the comment, Brian. I completely agree with you. I should have done that a while ago. So there we go. Let us now proceed with a certain degree of moxie. So Kyle Teal comes back on a far cheaper deal than he wanted, which makes me pretty happy. Other new players include Joel Biddle. Mr. Biddle is a Rule 5 draft pick for us. I'm hoping he can add a little bit of offensive power to our lineup. He is currently platooning. More on that in a minute. Other lineup people, that's pretty much it. Oh, Leo Torres is the other new guy. Another Rule 5 pick. He's our new backup catcher. Hopefully someday to be our full-time catcher. I want him to develop a little bit more before that happens, but I think he's got every possibility to be a long-term catcher for us. That's all that's changed about this lineup. Everyone else was here on the team last year, or at least in the minors last year. Like Jaden Fielder is back on the Major League Club, and this is Platoon City. We currently have, at the moment, 4 players who play every day. Checked out 5. Montez, Ito, Bautista, Mr. Tibbs, Josh Gibbs, and Teal. So I guess we only have 3 platoon men. But that's still a lot of platooning, more than I normally do. But I think it's the right call. I think it's the right decision. So we'll see what happens this season. We are coming off the World Series Championship, of course. I'm hopeful that we'll make it 2 in a row, but nothing is certain. Pitching staff, we acquired Ted Robinson in trade last season. Now he's a starter. We're going to see how that works out for us. Everyone else here is a long-time starter for the White Sox. Well, long-term may be, a bit of an exaggeration. Bullpen is a bunch of old friends for the most part. Jay Horner was a trade a while ago, but he's finally made to the major leagues, so we're going to see what he can offer us. Spencer is an old friend, as is Vergez, as is Wilson, as is Sipes, as is Vantine. So this is a very homegrown roster. Very, very homegrown. If we take a look at... let me do all players here real fast, and we do default. Oh no, we need acquisition view. There's a lot of draft picks here. There's a lot of trades. There's a lot of minor league free agent signing. Very few outright free agent signings. Ito being by far the most important. Teal says he's a free agent signing. I guess that's technically true, but remember he was ours to begin with. We just brought him back. So yeah. Very homegrown team. Very much a team that I built through shrewd trades and high quality short-term decisions. So, yeah. Still lots of reinforcements in the minors. So you got Rainsford and Mabin currently in the minors, as is Jeff Hinshaw, as is Eric Powers. So we're going to want to see some meaningful moves by some of our players right now. I would love a universe where both Maven and Ransford are in the Major League roster. I just don't have that right now. So let's be about it. Notice Jaden Charles is injured. We don't know when he's going to come back. Hopefully he comes back soon, because then that's going to make our team even better. Let us advance a singular day to the beginning of April. Nothing too crazy happening here. I feel like Dingman is getting an opportunity because he was so good last season. I'm not going to get rid of him quickly, but he is going to be on a shortish leash. Mostly because I've got two players that I'd love to get opportunities to in the minor leagues right now. So you'd better play your very best, my young friend. Jaden Charles can return. That is fantastic news. Let me send... Who goes to the minors? Adam Jones, maybe? No, it's going to be Sipes, I think. Alright, so Jaden Charles becomes the new ace. Ted Robinson goes to the bullpen. Down, 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 down. Charles. I think Hoisington just pitched, so we're going to go ahead and manually tell you to let Brian Williams pitch. And then Ted Robinson is going to be a middle reliever, long reliever for now. I just wanted to get more meaningful innings, but he is very much first in line should I need a starter. But I think letting him stretch out his arm a little bit in the minor leagues is a pretty reasonable approach. All right, let us now advance time. Biddle's going to miss 5 to 6 weeks. That's awkward for him, but it does open up an opportunity. So Biddle is left-handed, which means this is probably... Oh, both Ransford and Mabin are right-handed. Interesting. And they both got pretty dramatic splits. Ransford a little bit less. Ransford's got a little bit of skill against righties. I think we do call up... or we could do Hinshaw, actually. Maybe. Maybe. I wish Maven didn't have such a big hole in his swing. I wish he wasn't so terrible against right-handed pitching. I guess it's only power that he lacks against righties, so maybe it's okay. I think we have to give him an opportunity to play in the major leagues. So I think we call him up. Calling him up theoretically means I bench Dingman too. But let's just go ahead and play Mabin for now and see where we go from there. Mabin is a much better outfielder than Kozic. Kozic is much better than Tibbs. So I think we do Tibbs to DH. We do Kozic to left, and we do Mabin to right. There we go. Okay, let's now advance time a bit farther. Postal message, Valentine has been suspended. What a moron. Hey, Domenico Dallavilla. He was going to be our starting catcher, actually, before Teal agreed to come back. I'm not that annoyed by it, but, you know, we could have had him, maybe. Alright, let's start pouring on the wins, gentlemen. Let's win all of the baseball games. Every baseball game that has ever existed. I want you to go back in time and win all of those games, too. That's how good I expect you to be. Excuse me. Goodness. I was going to say, maybe we bench Dingman. Maybe we don't. Um, maybe the guy that hit 3 home runs. He gets to stay for a little bit longer. Maybe. Okay, Wilson's getting better. Great Williams getting a tiny bit worse. That's concerning. Torres is getting better. Montez is getting a little bit better. Cool. Nothing too crazy. Like, I'm not seeing anybody that's instant, like, aha, this person is definitely going to the minor leagues or major leagues someday. Okay. Gareth Aubrey's getting quite a bit better. That's pretty exciting. I can get behind that. Statistically, this is all noise so far. No one's played enough at bats to really be like, yes, what an amazing player you are. Fielder is not playing well, but again, it's too early in the season. What is Matt Pues's deal? You just giving up home runs like a loser? Yeah, you're giving up home runs, my guy. You need to stop doing that. Just don't give up home runs, Fivehead. How hard could that be? Alright. I think we just don't make any changes right now. I think we just keep going and see where the next month takes us. We can make... Holy shit, 24 runs in a game. That's pretty bonkers. Alright, Joel Bill can come back. Do I want him back? Maben is hitting. It is more important to me that I get the most out of Maben than keeping Biddle just for the sake of keeping him. Let me go ahead and put Biddle on rehab assignment. And then we can make a decision here in a little bit. Missing a week is not sufficient to... I mean, I guess it is sufficient to put him on the IL. Yeah, let me do that because otherwise I'll forget. So we move up Gasky, move up Hoisington, move up Williams and Schultz. And then Ted Robinson takes over the 5th spot. And we call up somebody else. It might as well be Eric Powers, right? Like, Eric Powers is as good as anybody else I've got. Yeah, you can be a reliever for me. Alright, let's get some more reps in. Okay. 4 months for Hoisington actually really sucks. That's actually very poopy. I'm just gonna let him skip the start for right now. And we'll just figure out somebody else to take the start. Because Charles is gonna be back in 5 days anyway. Yeah, Josh Valentine can absolutely toss a start for us. And then that way Jaden Charles can come back and get his job back. The AL Central is quite a dogfight between the top 3 teams this season. We're all neck and neck, which is good for the sport, but maybe not good for me in terms of replacing my repeating, possibly. Mostly people getting slightly worse or slightly better. Nothing too crazy happening here. Kozic is getting better. Dingman is getting better. Travis is getting better. Okay. Okay. Kozic is having himself a season. Which is actually potentially very good news for most of the roster, except that he sucks against lefties. We definitely need a platoon with him. Losing Hoisington is very poopy. How long is Teal out? Oh, Teal is ready to go. Okay, great. Jaden Charles got himself a shutout. That's pretty exciting. It's very exciting. All right, what are we looking at this season? Okay, Anar Montes is becoming the player we wanted him to be. There's still more here. There's still a version of Montes that's even better. But this version of Montes is perfectly serviceable. He's getting on base. He's playing effectively. It's what we want from him. Could there be more? I'd love for there to be more. I'd love for him to be the kind of guy that hits 30 home runs a season. This is perfectly adequate. This is good. This is a good player. Very happy about Montez's performance. I don't want to say Ito is back because he's kind of reached a certain plateau at this point in his career. It still makes him one of the better players in the league, but he's not as good as he used to be. But he's still good. He's still good. And we're not going to do anything to mess with that. Yorger Bautista is going to make a lot of money in the near future. Now, there are some holes in his game. He's not as good as he was last season because he's not hitting for as much power, but he's also getting on base. And he's still playing pretty effectively, so he's just going to make more money. At some point, I probably need to commit to him, but I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to wait till the end of the season. Because I don't think I'm going to get much of a discount anyway, and this is a guy who's had exactly one outstanding season in his career. I don't want to overcommit to him until I'm sure that he is worthy of my attention. Mr. Tibbs is still cranking bombs, but he is not the guy he used to be. He's not getting on base as much. He's striking out more. Still a good player, but probably overpaid relative to what he actually provides to the team. Trent Maiden, unless he does something catastrophically stupid, is going to stay on this team for the rest of the year. I've got to see what he can do. I've got to actually let him just play the games, come hell or high water. There's a lot here that is very easily fixable. Strikeouts are ridiculous. He should not be striking out almost a third of the time. As he gets more experience in the major leagues, that should come down. If that comes down, he's a well-rounded right fielder, and he is worthy of a continued spot. Garrett Kozic probably needs to be promoted in the lineup against left-handed pitching. Right-handed pitching, excuse me. He's just been that good this year. He's just been really good. I think it's a little ridiculous how well he's hitting. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is not acceptable. This is not expected. This is not something that I expect him to be able to do. To be able to regularly hit for over 300 and just dominate. But I'm happy to have him while we do. I'm going to swap him and Maben to get him some more meaningful at-bats and see where that takes us. All right. Jaden Fielder at this point, he needs more at-bats. Damn it. I was hoping I'd have a definite decision about him by the end of May, but he still hasn't even passed his first year of production yet. I've got to give him more opportunities. I've got to give him a longer look so that I can be absolutely sure when we let go of him that we're making the right choice. Gibbs was never going to be a top-tier offensive performer. That's not what he's here for. But I do want him to be just a little bit better. Just a little bit. Kyle Teal is obviously a shadow of his former self with the bat, but he's still a leader. He's still great with the glove. I think he's still worth the money we're paying him, at least for the time being. Watts is still giving up home runs at an alarming rate. No one has that many innings at this point in the season, so I don't want to make any drastic changes, but it is something I am considering. Something I am definitely considering. For now, though, I think we just ride it out. We give it a little bit more time, and then we see what might be available. Josh Gibbs is going to miss 3 weeks. That kind of sucks, actually. I don't really have a shortstop that I trust beyond him. I'm willing to just let him play through the pain for right now and see what happens. All right, so Joel Biddle is ready to come back. I don't have a spot for him. Unless we bench Gabe Dingman, and Dingman's actually doing pretty well in his chosen role. I guess. Hmm. I don't want to fuck things up. And I do think he's good enough that he deserves a proper shot. If I say that, though, that means Biddle has to get traded or released. And I don't want to lose Biddle either. Um, a world where Maven shifts to being the platoon half of. So, a world where Maven takes over Dingman's role, and then Biddle plays where Maven is playing right now. It probably makes us a better team. I feel bad for Dingman. But the thing is that Maven is basically the same as Dingman, but younger. And a much better outfielder. So I think we're going to go ahead and send out Dingman, call up Biddle. Maven replaces Dingman. And then Biddle replaces Maven. Can Biddle play right? Biddle can't really play right. So things becomes Tibbs in left, Kozic in right, and Biddle DHing. All right, that works. Jane Charles back, actually huge. Geske goes there. Charles goes here. What do we want to pursue in the draft? What do we actually want? And I think we just want more talent. I don't think there's any one position that I can sit there and tell you, aha, this is going to change everything. I just don't think that's true. I don't think that matters. I think we need the very best players we can get, regardless of position, and then let things work out there. Damn, Tommy White, that's rude as heck. Don't be jacking into stains. That's disgusting and unsanitary. How dare you, sir? How dare you? There's combine scouting. Okay. All right. I know my draft pick is going to suck this year. We're just going to try to get the very best, all the good players scouted up. George Broomhead, eh? Okay. All right. So we're going to simulate a singular day. We're now high on Fleshman and Shaw. Let's get Terry Moan and Nick Persicilli, maybe? Maybe. Well, we already know Persicilli quite well, I guess. Where I was like, we know this guy. He's awesome. How about Dylan Bellamy? Well, I'm going to looking at Danny Spell. I think it's just because I'm just missing him. So let me remove Nick Anderson and add Danny Spell. Right, 2 more days. We want to get as much scouting in as we possibly can to know everything we can possibly know. Dahmer, Motor, Pescar, and Rodriguez. Bending Rodriguez. I only get 1 more day anyway. I don't think getting like 1 day on any one player is going to make that much of a difference, so I think we'll just finish up there. Okay. German. Okay. Schultz, can you stop? Like, you're not good enough to pick fights anymore. You're kind of like a back end of the rotation piece, the kind of guy that gets released. Okay, Joe Torres being out for 7 weeks is really shitty. Um, I guess we just deal with it. But who do I even have that can catch for me? It's old friend of Ralphie Velasquez. He's like, finally, I get to come back. You're right, you do, Ralphie. Congrats. I guess I need to redo depth charts. I haven't done that in a while. I think a consistently good first baseman might be the one thing I could get excited about. Maybe. Like an everyday first baseman, both hands, dominant. Yeah. All right. Scouting director absolutely comes back. Like, this is not even a debate. Scouting director comes back. He's awesome. All right. Who is the biggest jerk on this roster? It's not Adam Amick. I think we bring him along. You get along with Jaden Charles, right? Like, you and he are besties. No, but it's a good relationship. That's fine. Yeah, Mr. Amick, we're gonna give you an extension. Easy decision. Chris Getz, I have no problem with keeping him around. I think he's fine. I need to get rid of Aaron Boone. Very clearly. Yeah, we can keep this Major League coaching staff together a bit. Then minor league coaches. Let's go ahead and offer some minor league extensions here. Sergio Santos, we're probably not going to be able to keep him for very much longer. He probably wants to be a major league manager, and that's just not something I'm prepared to give him. I'll still give him an extension because I think he's worth it. But, yeah. Chad Pinder is fine, but he's not as outstanding. We can replace him. I never hired a rookie league hitting coach. That's my bad. Give me Earl Snyder. I remember Earl Snyder. He was he's a first baseman when the Guardians traded Robbie Alomar to the Mets. He was one of the players that the Guardians got in exchange. Keith Cooper is an amazing manager. I would like to keep him as long as he's willing to stay. But I think Pinder can probably be replaced. Like, he's fine, but he's not great. I don't know. Maybe it is. No. I think we just replace him at this point. I don't think there's anything left to discuss. Yeah. Top 100 prospects type. Anybody even in the top 100? Our system's still pretty good, actually. We can't be embarrassed of our water system still has. Still have a lot of depth. It's just a question of figuring out the best combination of players. Snyder, I'm gonna look at his player profile. I'm almost positive he's the guy that we traded for Robbie Alomar. Yep, there it is. Man, Alex Escobar. I thought he was going to be a fantastic player. He fractured his orbital bone, and he was never the same player. Which, completely fair, right? Like, I would be exactly the same way if I broke my orbital bone. I'd rather not do that if I were given the choice. Adam Jones is improving. That's awesome to see that. Other people floating around about where they are. Yorgier Bautista is getting better. Kozic is getting better. Nice. Alright. So what do we got? Jaden Fielder has to go. This man has had every opportunity to prove to me that he can handle Major League hitting, and he cannot. He is not capable of being a starting first baseman, in my opinion. His time has come and gone. Now, the real question is, what about Salvador Lopez? Is he at least holding up his end of the bargain? He is okay, but I think we need a dedicated long-term replacement of first base. I think having two first basemen is the same as having zero first basemen. Possibilities. Chris Ransford is one of them. Making Chris Ransford the everyday first baseman could be a great idea. It could solve a lot of problems for us. It frees up a roster spot so we can get creative. I think maybe we just trade Fielder, play Ransford at first base, but only play him against left-handed pitching for now. Let him heat up a bit, and then talk about what to do with him next. So Jaden Fielder, I have seen enough. You are no longer White Sox material. In all honesty, I should probably just play Rainsford every day and not worry about Salvador Lopez. Probably. Joe Chesworth is fine. Like, he is an acceptable return for a guy that I'm not going to keep either anyway, so fine. Done. I think I just play Ransford every day at first base. I truly think that's the right choice. Let's figure it out. Let's absolutely figure it out. Because Salvador Lopez is nothing special. He is acceptable. He is replacement level in the truest sense of the term, replacement level. I no longer care. I'm no longer interested in letting him have more opportunities. I give up. Yeah. Rainsford, you're playing first base. You're playing first base. Let me quickly shift you to being a first baseman here, too. There we go. I guess I believe in him enough to let him bat third against right-handed pitching. I'd rather do someone that I trust a little bit more. But I don't know who else that would be. Bailey Rodriguez having himself another season. He is playing extremely well. I guess it's Rainsford is as good as anybody, I suppose. So a backup first baseman seems like not a great use of my possibilities here. I don't think it's smart. I don't think it makes sense to me to keep him just to back up, just because I'm afraid he might turn out to be something great. I would much rather trade him and open up a roster spot for somebody else. Like a Jeff Hinshaw, for example, or a Joe Chesworth, or Mike Braden, or Jeff Young. I have other choices. Keeping him just for the sake of, oh, big number means he'll play well. I've given him hundreds of at-bats, and he has only been great once, which is in 2031. I think we sell. I'm going to try to get a prospect package if I can. I would feel a little bit better about selling if I did. But I think he's just done. I just don't think there's anything left. I'd love 2 greens if we could get it. Or a blue. Manny Estrada, huh? Manny Estrada is very, very well-rounded. I think he's got a chance to be a star. I think Tom Hunt is fine. I don't think he necessarily is major league quality, but I think he's fine. I'm very interested in Manny Estrada. Let's see if I can get you to give me a little bit more. What about Jimmy Taylor? Okay. I was joking, see? Ha 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 ha. Hilarious. How about Jorge Sotomayor? You're thinking about it? If you take this deal, I will pull the trigger. I think Sotomayor has got a lot of upside. What if I drop Hunt and ask for Sotomayor and Estrada? What if that happened? All right, we're getting there. It is an easier sell for you. Maybe. Maybe not. I think it's a better trade. I do think it's a better decision. I would love to get Sotomayor, but I'm not willing to give somebody good for him. I bet Kevin Howard I can probably... No? You love Kevin Howard. I think we just make this deal. I think I don't overthink it. I think it's the right choice. I think it gives us the kind of player we can be excited about. It gives me the kind of player that can really fill a need on this team. Yeah. I want him... I'm going to put him on the 40-man, but I want him playing in AAA for right now. I mean, he did play pretty well at AAA last year, I guess. But let's give him more time. Let's give him a little bit more seasoning. With the understanding that his time in the minors will probably be quite short. Oh, you'd have to clear waivers? I am not waiving you at all for any reason. I think we go ahead and call you up then. And then the question becomes, where or when does Estrada play? I think we just go ahead and just slot him in as like a DH type. Right now he can just be like the supreme pinch hitter, and I feel okay about that. Yeah, this feels good. This feels pretty damn good. And then as Estrada plays more, we can start to settle things out there. There is a very clear world in which Estrada takes over Biddle's spot. But I don't know that we're there yet. But I think we're close. I think we're close to making a decision with Biddle. But we're gonna see how he does before we jump to any conclusions here. I am gonna miss Salvador Lopez. I am gonna miss him. I think he still has a chance to be a very good player. I just don't think he'll ever be what he thinks he's going to be. Yeah. So we'll see. But I did not miss that Robinson threw a shutout. So clearly he deserves to... Abernathy, I remember his name. Yeah, look at this. Shutout for Ted Robinson. Nice. Alright, guys. 3 homers for Tibbs. Nice. I think probably the most expendable player on the roster now. You know, once we're sure that we have what we're looking for, it's probably Tibbs at this point. But we'll see. But this is the kind of Ito that we've been waiting to see return. The all-around amazing hitter makes us feel pretty good. Okay, Matt Pless, you have had too much time, and you just keep giving up home runs. This is a terrible thing to have in a closer. You are no longer the closer, my friend. I don't know who is, though. Yes, I do. It's Adam Wilson. That was an easy decision. You're now a middle reliever. Adam Wilson becomes a closer. And we figure it out from there. Adam Jones is mostly fine. He's probably overexposed. Maybe not. Maybe not. Jay Horner is giving up too many home runs. He's walking way too many people. That is something I'm not interested in if he's going to walk that many people when I could just promote Kevin Spencer to setup guy. Yeah. Let's see how things work out now. The pitching staff is great. I have no complaints about the starters at all. Um, Geski's also going to want to get paid this offseason. We have some hard decisions to make for sure. All right, let's get drafting. Let's get drafting. All right. There are 3 blue chip talents left, and Tom Rados, Chris Height, and Bobby Schmidt. 2 of them are relievers. Probably not a great idea to be going after relievers. Let's look at Chris Height. He is kind of dumb. But he's also fairly well-rounded here. He's got some decent offensive skills. He's defensively not terrible. I think he's probably best at third base, if I were to guess. This is probably fine. But let's keep looking. Let's not jump on the first player that seems to be reasonably useful. Nick Anderson is a better hitter. Purely offensively, he is a better hitter. He does suffer a tiny bit because he's an average outfielder instead of a pretty good infielder, but he is definitely a better stick. 100%. George Broomhead is a pretty solid pitcher. I think I could get excited about. But I think we go for Nick Anderson. I think he's the best choice here. Let's do that. All right, Greg Goldberg. I have one complaint: he's not a shortstop, but I still think he is overall a pretty good player. Yeah, I think he's a great choice. I think he's an excellent second-round pick. Let's make it happen. Let's put you both on the short list of draft picks. All right. I don't mind grabbing us a reliever at this point, unless Tony Rodriguez is something really excellent. Nope. You're very, 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 very limited here. Your only skill is hitting for average. You're not that good defensively. I don't think you're a good fit. We like Andrew Picard, huh? Abso-fucking-lutely not. That is a hard no from me. I guess what you're hoping is that he fixes control and then becomes a dominant starting pitcher, and maybe that future exists. Maybe it is worth taking the risk. Yeah, against my better judgment, let's do it. I think he does have a lot of really special tools, and if we can get the most out of him, I think we're going to have a fantastic starting pitcher. All right, let me look at Mitch Ayers now. Is he a good reliever? He's a very good reliever. All right, let's do it. Let's add Mitch Ayers to the club. All right, now let's auto draft. Tony Rodriguez just keeps falling. I'm still not going to take him though. Like at a certain point, I have to just say no. You want me to look at John Beamish? I'm not taking John Beamish. Not when there's really good pitchers available here. A guy like a Barry Varner is perfect. He's very, very good. And we're gonna snap him up. Just like that. We have been farmered. You really want me to take Tony Rodriguez at this point? I just think it's dumb. I'm gonna set you up as not draft picks, people that I passed on, and I want to see if anybody does take you in a sub what they get out of you, because I don't think you're very good. We still like John Beamish a lot. What is Omari Saffold's deal? Nope. That's a no from me. Jeff Britt, pretty popular. Tony Nieves. I'm interested in adding catchers if the right catchers are. Okay, what do you like about John Beamish so much? He works hard. He's a decent hitter, but he's a terrible outfielder. I don't know that he's that exciting to me. Oh god, Nieves is really down the line here. He's at least a better all-around hitter than Rodriguez. I still think he's worth taking, to be honest with you. What about Kerwin Manning? I think this is another guy that becomes a project, and I'm not going to spend him the amount of money that he wants. I'm just not going to do that. I think Jay Bednarchik is perfect. I think he's an excellent pitcher, really highly regarded, good all-around abilities. I think we make it happen. I think we do it. All right. Who's next? We have more baseball players to choose from. Okay. We like Keyshawn Romaine. Let us see what he's got. Get it? Get it? Interesting. Very interesting. A guy whose stuff is this weak needs to have a lot better control than he does. He's only got 2 pitches. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's a good fit. I think we keep looking. What is Nathan Richardson's deal? Nathan Richardson's deal is that he's a pretty hard-working player. I think he's perfect. I think he works really, really well. Nathan Richardson, welcome to the White Sox. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. John Beamish. Did John Beamish like your brother-in-law or something? Is that why you keep recommending him to me? I mean, he cost me $0, so sure. But I don't see why you're so excited about him. Whatevs. Raul Barrera is a high school reliever. These tend not to have great careers. And it's basically banking purely on stuff. I'm willing to make that bet that his stuff is going to carry him through. So we're going to draft him. Done. Now, something somebody mentioned for my Rocky series is what if we spent for character guys later in the draft? And I think it's an excellent suggestion. I don't know that I'm going to do it, but it's something I'm definitely considering. All right. We like Mike Alfonso. I don't see why. Grant Allen isn't a leader, but he plays at a good school. He plays pretty well. I think he's a better choice. I think Graham Allen needs to be a White Sox. Done. Cody Robertson, you want another high school reliever? Man, he's dumb as shit, but it is the 11th round, so fine. All right. Mitch Waters. It's pretty good. We'll take Mitch Waters. I just realized what I had told you not 10 seconds ago that I was going to look for higher character guys. Now I think is that time. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for people that have high leadership. Mike Bennett may not be a very good catcher, but he's an excellent leader. Let's take Brandon Caston. Brandon Caston's kind of the opposite of the guys I tend to take. I tend to take guys that are great athletically. He's a really good dude, and so there's every possibility that he can develop a bit more than he has been. Welcome to the team. Let's look at hitters now. Who do we have as a good leader as a hitter? Okay, interesting. Batting ranks doesn't tell me much about leadership. Let's look for amazing power. Really? This is it? Oh, I'm looking at batting ratings, not batting potential. Okay. Here we go. High leadership. Lance Berkeley is apparently a really good dude. You know what? Sure, we can draft him. Why not? Why the fuck not? And somebody good at hitting that is also good at other things. I mean, Xavier James is the exact kind of player that we might be interested in. He's obviously flawed, right? Like, he obviously doesn't have. He's going to be all or nothing, is Mr. James. And I'm willing to draft him and see if we can get the most out of him. Jesse Armbruster is kind of dumb. He's kind of real dumb, but he's also a decent catcher, so let's draft him, I guess. Let's go back to pitchers. Let's look at more pitching potential. Let's take Mike Bennett, even though he's stupid. Even though he's real dumb. Jesse Perry's kind of a classic good clubhouse guy, so I think we'll draft him. I have 2 more picks to make. I think I'm going to get a couple more people with great athletic tools. Josh Reiner is very obviously a flawed guy. He's going to have to make a significant improvement, but he's in the 19th round. If you're not going to take a guy that gets to the 19th round, I don't know when you would ever take him. Let me find a big ol' thumper. Let me find somebody who just vaporizes baseballs. You know what? Steve Powell, you're in. For a 20th round draft pick, I think you'll do nicely. Done. Alright, let's do some negotiating. It's going to be very easy. You each want 800 grand. I also would like 800 grand if you have any money spare, but I think this is fine. Let's play to the All-Star break. We need to put together a nice little run of, like, say 5 or 6 wins in a row to really, like, cement our chances of making the postseason, right? Young goes deep 3 times. Okay, sure. It's Jose Ramos. He's still trying, guys. He's still trying. Who made the All-Star team? Let's find out. Jaden Charles made the All-Star team, obviously. Great choice. Atsuji Ito made the All-Star team. Garrett Kozich made the All-Star team. That's 3 All-Stars. Is that it? That appears to be it. You know what? I respect it. Especially Kozich. If Kozich can be this good all the time, I think we've got ourselves a really nice player. I think it's somebody to get really excited about. John Crank, Sheedy Evans both make it. Edwin Hernandez is having a pretty good season. Are you one of the guys that I'm personally controlling? Yes. Edwin, you've played 2 consecutive seasons in rookie ball. I think you need to be promoted. I'm going to send you to Kannapolis. The city of cans. It's true. Okay, it's not true. I just made that up, but... Is any reliever doing exceptionally poorly to the point where I can demote them? Not really. Like, my lowest talent level pitcher happens to be the one that's actually pitching the most effectively. It's just kind of funny. It's kind of comedic. But I mean, we've got some really good pitchers that probably need opportunities to be their best. Like Kevin Davis. Hmm. Evan Matty. I think adding you to the 40 man is a mistake. but we'll see. I want to see where we are by the time the trading deadline rolls around. Maybe we have some more decisions we can make. I feel like he gave Chris Ransford chances because he's a former first overall draft pick, not necessarily because I think he's the best man for the job. I think if there were a top quality first baseman on the market, I'd strongly consider it. I don't want Anthony Bender. He doesn't interest me. Sorry, bruh. Doesn't interest me. I don't want Angel Chivilli. I think John Kennett is really good. I don't want Chivilli though, is the thing. Joel Biddle is playing pretty well for me. I don't think I want to bench him necessarily. Yeah, I agree. We would look like idiots. I wonder if we could get Kennett for somebody else. Because I do like Kennett a lot. I think Hershey Dogar, Kennett is already better than he is, and his potential will be even better than that. I think this is a trade that I make. Done. I do need to make room for Kennett on the roster, which is something I need to think about. I'm gonna send Quest back to the minors, so I'm gonna call up Kennett, and we can let him get some middle relief work in. He can also kill lefties for us. He can do both things. Yeah. All right. What do we want? What would most help us be successful? Chris Rainsford needs to stop fucking sucking. I think that's an important part of our success as a club. I don't know why the man can't hit in the major leagues. Like, I cannot fathom it. Why he is this bad. Um, maybe he just sucks. Like, maybe this is just who he is, and who he is isn't very good. Maybe it's also too small a sample size to really say that he actually is or isn't that good. I will at least talk. Like, there's at least something I might be interested in. The other thing to consider here, I probably cannot afford to keep both Gasky and Bautista, and Gasky's probably the one that's going to leave of the two of them. Maybe, I don't know. Noah Schultz might also opt out of his contract, which would be really stupid of him if he did that. I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher, but I'm saying he's not going to make more money if he opts out. He's going to make less. And maybe that's what he wants. Maybe that will make him happy if he makes less money. Whatever. But let's start the deadline day, shall we? Brock Wilken is a terrible return for Joel Biddle. I think I reject your trade. I'd drink your milkshake. Um, Evan Carter's okay, I guess. He's not good enough for what is being asked of me, but he's okay. Chase Petty. That's too much money. Ariel Amador, we know him quite well from the Rocky series. Tempting, but no. Logan O'Hop. It's a good name for an Irish bunny, right? O'Hop. Guy Lipscomb. No thanks. Roman Anthony. Mm-hmm. Gabriel Moreno? No thanks. Oh, that's right, he's a jackass. I think that's why we got rid of him in the first place. There's literally nobody here that interests me. And I don't think anybody is going to want anything from Abernathy. I can ask, but I doubt anyone wants him. I doubt there's anything people like, oh wow, Abernathy, so cool. Yeah. I just think there's nothing of interest that anyone could probably offer me. Like, I don't need a mid-tier reliever. I genuinely don't. Relievers are something I have in abundance. I think Dogar for Canada is as good as we're going to get. I don't really think there's the kind of player that I'm looking for. Kale Fountain. He might be the kind of guy I'm looking for. I don't want to gut my bullpen for him, though. I don't think he's that good. And I think both Wilson and in particular, I think Powers and especially Wilson are both way too good to be given up. So I think I just say no. I think this just ends. Yusaku Oi is not good enough. Fontenot is fine, I suppose. I mean, these guys both suck. I'm not saying it's a bad decision. I just don't think it's a good one. Like Yusaku Oi is not going to be playing for me, and if he does, he won't play very much. So I think we reject the deal and end our turn. I just don't want your guy. He doesn't interest me. Alright, let's end the day. So we didn't make any upgrades. Which means we're counting on an awful lot from Chris Rainsford. We're counting on him to be the kind of guy that can play every day. And right now he hasn't proved it yet. But he also hasn't really had a chance to prove it either. So maybe there's still something here. Maybe we just have to keep the faith. Yeah, I think that's the right choice. All right, let's expand. Oh, I don't want Ransford hitting third anymore under any circumstances. Wow, Mabin sucks. Mabin is really bad. Billy Reed can hit fifth. That's fine. This is really upsetting to me. I think Mabin has so much raw talent, so much potential, but he just isn't doing anything with it. It makes me really disappointed in him and what he should be doing. He strikes out way too much. This is a gigantic issue. Maybe we bring Gabe Dingman back. I mean, Dingman at least does what it says on the tin, right? Like, he gets the job done against left-handed pitching. Mabin is just lost. I feel like we have to give him his chance. I feel like this is his one season for us, and if he can't figure his shit out, then we get rid of him. But yeah, I think it has to happen. Josh Rantine's gonna miss 3 weeks. That's kind of poopy, but all right. Let's grab who was his name? Kevin Davis. Davis is way too good a pitcher not to be in the major leagues at this point. You know? I mean, I guess I could promote Enrique Castillo instead, maybe, but I think Davis is the right choice. I mean, I guess the real question is, don't we just call Matt Pless? Don't we just bring him back, maybe? How's his time in the minors gone? It's gone pretty well. Yeah, let's bring Puess back, or do we bring Davis up? Good question. Let's call up Davis. I think it's fine. I think it's fine to let him get some innings in. Do I have anybody who could, if necessary, start? Is there anybody's pitching ratings are good enough to start? John Kennett? Your role just changed, my friend. If I need an emergency starter, it's going to be you. There's no way Schultz opts out of his contract, right? Like, I just don't see it happening. We can have Leo Torres back. I'm going to go ahead and let him rehab, and we'll bring him back when rosters roll over. Expanded on September 1st. Guys, can we win like 6 or 7 in a row, please? Can I request that? I'd feel so much better about our chances if we could put together a nice winning streak. Rafi Velasquez is actually playing pretty effectively when he does play. But I don't want to give up Leo Torres because I do think the world of him and his future. Oh, fuck. Fuck. I will send down Velasquez briefly because I do want Torres, and I want him to start at least once a week. I think that's fine. I think that's good. It'll give him some opportunities. Ransford. Why are you both so terrible? Just play better. I cannot develop hitters for the life of me, other than Montez. Montez at least looks like he is a very good choice. It looks like he's a very good player, which is pretty exciting to me. Player development, Horner got better, Jones got better. Guess he got a touch worse. Bautista got a touch better. Kozic is getting better and better. Young got better. Carzales did. Barnes. Some nice improvements here. Pretty good stuff. Alright, I need to call up 2 players. Alright. Alex Mendez, you have barely played in the major leagues. I think letting you come up to the majors, along with Jeff Hinshaw, is probably fine. And then regenerate my depth charts, please, and let's see where Hinshaw plays. I do want Torres. I know Torres isn't very good. This is about getting him experience. Whether he plays well or not, I don't really care. And then Kozic is going to play even more, which is fine. What a fun he's turned out to be, though, right? Like, he is legitimately an outstanding player this year. I'm really happy for us that he's turned out to be as effective as he has been. Alright, let's sim to October. This is extremely rude. I think we shut him down and bring up Mike Braden. I think there is... Here's my issue. I want Ito ready for the postseason. And shutting him down now gives us that opportunity. Do we maybe win less games with Braden playing second base? Maybe. But he has proven to be a useful backup second baseman. He's proven to be capable. So hopefully he can help us just run through the rest of the season so that Ito's going to be at 100% come postseason time. We get Ray Hoisington back, which is pretty good. He's also having a really rough season. So Ted Robinson is pitching better than he was, I guess. Mr. Hoisington, would you be so kind as to rehab in the minors? Gibbs is going to miss a week. Fine. Dickie Brown is going to retire. Okay, let's see if we can adjust to that. Rafael Perez is an amazing pitching coach. Ryan Mitchell is just okay. Rafael Perez, congratulations. And let's get ourselves a high-quality pitching coach for the rookie leagues. You know what? Preston Claiborne, let's make it happen. Is this Gerald Rosado? It is. Poor guy. I keep hearing Steve Gabriel's name. Maybe somebody need to pay some attention to. It seems like he's pitched pretty well this season. Maybe. Okay, we get Ito back at 100%. That's fantastic news. Mike Braden, always a pleasure. You always fill in when we need you to. There is a very realistic future coming up where Ito shifts to first base or DH, and that's going to be your time to shine. But until I have to get rid of you, I'm not going to get rid of you. I think you've just been too useful whenever Ito's gotten hurt. A blister for Mendez? Who even is Mendez? Oh, I remember you. Figure it out, dude. It's too close to the end of the season. I can't really be bothered. We won the AL Central. Excellent. We're not getting a first round bye, which is less excellent. But that's okay. That's all right. A fucking no-hitter from Jaden Charles. Can you be any more awesome? Bruh. Oh. You're so good. 23 WAR, and he's just now 25 years old. That's banana. Nate Robinson, did you used to play for me? I don't think so. I think you just randomly ended up on my short list for some reason. I don't think any... Like, I don't give two shits about you. Oh, you might have been somebody that I almost drafted. Maybe. But yeah, I don't care. I don't know why that would affect me in the slightest. Alright. So, friends, we have made the postseason again. Which is good stuff. We found talent in Curaçao, the home of Andrew Jones, among others. Alright. Mendez does not make the postseason roster. I don't think that helps. Oh, sorry, here. We'll do that. I think Kevin Spencer pitched really well this season. Yeah, Kevin Spencer gets a spot over him. We're leaving Biddle off the lineup. I think Biddle has been very good for us. I'd rather carry Biddle than carry Jeff Hinshaw. So we'll carry Biddle. There we go. Biddle, get in here. You can be my setup guy. All right. So what does our rotation look like in the postseason? That's a good question. It definitely starts with Jaden Charles, and beyond that, I'm not so sure. I feel like Schultz is probably better than Williams or Geske just because of his experience. To be clear, Geske looks like he's a lot worse this season. He's like 1% worse. I still think Geske is one of my best choices if we're going to win a game with win a game when it's really out there. I think I think it's Brian Williams does indeed. We're gonna take the cuffs off. And then Ted Robinson and Noah Schultz can be emergency starters, long relievers. If we make it out of the first round, then Noah Schultz is the 4 starter. That I feel confident about. Jaden Charles gets it done. Adam Davis retiring makes me a little bit sad. I kind of thought Adam Davis might have been a good catcher. Oh well. Um, really tight game, really tight, and we get bumped out of the postseason. Honestly, I'm not that surprised. Um, I think if we were going to win, we had to have scored a bunch of runs here. But the Angels had the best pitching staff in the major leagues, and we didn't. Jaden Charles, awesome. Exactly what you want. The problem is neither Geske nor Williams was as good as they were last season. Although this is not Geske's fault. We did not lose because of Geske. Geske had an outstanding game. We didn't hit. Um, and it's a super short series. Like the fact that Ito vanished definitely sucks. But we won 92 games. We made the postseason. Even if we didn't win the World Series again, I still chalk the season up as a success. I'm not mad about it at all. You can't win them all. Jackson Burns retires. Oh no. Anyway. I think we need a partner for Jaden Charles. I thought that partner was going to be Luke Geske. And maybe it still is. Like maybe Luke Geske is still the kind of guy that we want to get excited about. Maybe there's still more to the story. But for right now, anyways, yeah. Have Josh Valentine back. What an amazing moment for us. I think no starter besides Charles is necessarily safe. At least the Baltimore Orioles didn't win the World Series again. The Astros did. Well. Nevertheless. I think we need a more reliable rotation, is what I think we need. I think that's an important element to us being the best team that we can be. Oh, we had people retire. How did I lose Patrick Leyland? Did I do that on purpose? I don't think I did. Curious. 3 years. Kyle Teal. He ended up having a good season. I think keeping him is fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, this is expected. I expected this 100%. It's whatever. We're going to opt out of his last year. It's not even a question. Yeah. Let's delete some emails, shall we? Let's clean up our inbox. Let's talk about how the season actually went. Let's see what we did well and what we didn't do so well. Ito is back. Borderline MVP candidate, outstanding season. The heart and soul was back and had another fantastic season. Really glad for us that he played so well. If you would have told me Garrett Kozic would be our second best player this year, I would have laughed hysterically. What a season he had. Um, yeah, he was just really good at hitting baseballs, which is important, I hear. If you're gonna be good at, if you're gonna be a good team. Is this a breakout for Honor Montez? No, but it is across the board better. And it's a sign we have another regular in the lineup. Is he an all-star? Hard to say. Probably not. But he is a good player. He is a very good player. And letting him continue to grow with us is just going to make us even better. Gibbs was down a little bit, mostly because his bat kind of shat the bed. Not as good. Actually, a better bat than 2032. Then what was worse? Don't tell me you're losing your defense. That would make me very sad. You are losing your defense. I am concerned. Maybe it's not that big a deal. Maybe we just need to accept it. Alright, so Bautista's proven he is a good center fielder. I think we already knew that, but now we have confirmation. Billy Reek had a good season. Tibbs was useful. I think Tibbs is possibly also on the way out. It's not 2 years in a row where all he did was just hit a few home runs, which is fine. I'm not complaining about the home runs. But I don't think it's enough. At least I don't think it's enough. Then we get to Chris Ransford. I don't know how you can be athletically this gifted and be so absolutely god-awful at hitting baseballs. I don't know. It has to be bad luck. Not too long ago, he was actually pretty good at hitting baseballs. So whatever his problems are, I think we can work through them, but I also think at some point we need to cut bait. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he can make any improvements and go from there. This is not a truly dominant offense. If we sort by WOBA, Kozic, Ito, Biddle were the best hitters. I think we need more. I think we need more offense because we're not going to win very often with our pitching staff by itself. So I think it's something we're going to have to adjust in the offseason. Is Mabin cooked already? He's replacement level. That's not meant to be a compliment, but it is meant to explain that, yes, he is something. I don't know what that something is yet, but he is something. Does Manny Estrada play a bigger role next year? Maybe. I don't know enough about him yet. I don't know what he's capable of yet. I do know that a true leadoff hitter would be a lovely addition to this club. I just don't know if you are that. This is still such a young team, guys. Such an incredibly young team. Yes. We have 2 starters that are over 30 in Tibbs and Teal. So. What about the pitching? Was the pitching that good? Game. Always put it at the end, please. Jaden Charles was absolutely phenomenal. Noah Schultz was decent, and everybody else was a contributor. We didn't have that second horseman, so to speak. We didn't have that second starter that really took over games. Noah Schultz came the closest. He did finish the year on a pretty cold note, but wait, how are we singing? Oh, this is our war. No, we want regular war, please. The war that I know and love. Alright. Yeah, sorry. So Brian Williams and Luke Yaski were good. They weren't bad pitchers. I'm wondering if Gibbs backsliding so badly defensively is the cause. is the reason why my pitchers weren't as good this year. If that is the case, that is something we're going to have to fix. Because that really disappoints me if that is the case. If, like, remember, Gibbs was a pretty damn good shortstop before this season. So I guess the question is this a 1 year blip? Did he just have an off year defensively? Or is this who he is now? If this is who he is, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm not paying like $11 billion or anything, but I expect him to be one of the better shortstops in the league, not league average. Maybe a little bit below league average. So please figure it out, Gibbs. I need you to be your very best. I don't need you to be a big fat chump. Hey, look at that. He obliterated A-Ball. I'm going to promote him to high A, even though I know it doesn't make that big a difference, and we'll just see what he can accomplish. We have some tough choices to make next season. I think we need to figure out what to do with Ransford and what to do with Maben. Both draft picks I expected a lot more from. Maybe the answer is just we let it ride, but I think we're... Okay, I don't think our window is in danger of closing. I think our window is still very much open. I don't think there's a lot of value in overselling for one more ring, for example. I don't think that makes sense to me. I think the team is entirely capable of winning the AL Central year in and year out. But we still have hard decisions to make. We still have choices that we need to make in order to be the best team that we can be. Goldstein and Torrance, I'm going to waive you both. Get out of here. Altamar gets added to the 40-man, and then I'll talk about the other decision next episode. Guys, I don't think Evan Matty is a good risk. I think he's someone that could be amazing, but he can't even play consistently in AAA. I have concerns, but we'll maybe keep him anyway. I don't know. This is a tough season. Chris Waters actually has a chance to be a starting pitcher for me in the very near future, which would be very exciting. I don't know how he went from A-ball to AAA, but okay, fine, sure. I'm willing to give him his chance. But yeah, I think we're just in a bit of a rut, but I don't think it's something we can't get out of. Ooh, Alberto Maini is not a shortstop. He's a first baseman. That makes him far less exciting. I could teach him third base, actually. Third base he'd probably be a good fit at. Maybe. Maybe. Anyways, thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.